Hello and welcome to my August 2026 garden tour. This one's going to be a little bit different. I might not be able to do it all at once, but this is Slick. Slick has babies that are finally out. We're trying to capture. Anyhow, so today is August 20th and time for a garden tour, and I'll start off with, yes, the garlic is in and it is curing. Just a few of them had to be taken in to be used right away, and these are for storage. I'm going to be taking the biggest ones of these to plant in the fall. And some of the biggest garlic we've ever grown this year. And let's check out how the strawberries are doing. We're actually getting strawberries that we can pick and enjoy every now and then. Not a whole lot, but enough for snacking. So these are actually doing pretty well in this location. There, get some more here. Ah, nom nom nom. Hello, Gouda. Unfortunately, Havarti has gone missing. So we have only Gouda, and that's Pinky. And here we have, finally our winter squash has been climbing, but there's basically almost no female flowers at all happening. Lots of male flowers. Let's see. I did see some female flowers somewhere. Not on this one. Anyways, the black Russian sunflowers. Some of them are starting to get flower heads. A little tiny flower head, just to give you an idea of the size. Here's the mammoth ones. They're getting pretty tall and starting to get their flower heads. Let's back up a little bit here. More winter squash. Do I have? Here we have a female flower bud. There was one before, but it just fell right off. You can see where it was right here. And there's not enough season left for any of this. And we have the super sugar snap peas. These were planted later, so we're actually getting some that we can snack on now. And they're doing pretty good. Before I forget, because I always forget, this is the jet black hollyhock, which got some deer damage, but recovers really well. I don't think we're going to get any flowers at all with these this year. And if we go over, these flowers are blooming, but there's that one haskap over here. There's one over here. Not a single berry on any of these. So, not sure what's going on. I think a lot of it has to do with the low pollinators this year. But that's a guess on my part. Here we have the purple asparagus. You can see berries are starting to form. And then we have our sunchokes, which are not getting particularly big, but they look fairly healthy. And there's a Gouda. Hello, Gouda. Hey, so I've uncovered both of these beds, and as you can see, the purple Savoy cabbage has not been forming any heads, even though they were doing pretty leggy, and you can see there's cabbage moss now that I've uncovered it, but not much we can do about that. No heads are forming. Got a few carrots. The Swiss chard is growing. I pulled the spinach that was not really growing. The kohlrabi that I transplanted to the ends here are being thoroughly eaten, but no kohlrabi are forming. And over here you can see these are the pods from the tiny bok choy that I'm leaving to go to seed. I was going to plant more, but that's not going to happen this year. And a few carrots that made it. Looking over on this side, the orange currant tomato. There's lots of sprays of tomatoes, but only a very few have ripened. So we've been able to collect like a handful in total. That's a winter squash down there. Got some melon down there. They're not going to make it, but you know, it's what we got. These are the blueberry tomatoes, which are still very not ripe, but at least we have some. Ain't that right, Gouda? And then around here we have the Manitoba tomato, and this one has finally turned red. All the others are green, but at least there are others. And I've already trimmed the tops so they won't keep vining, and will hopefully ripen. And over here, the late planting of yellow bush beans. Hey, Gouda, don't do that. They are starting to produce now. This Arikara squash. The plant is doing absolutely amazing, growing up into the compost ring over there. And we got ourselves a nice big squash over here. Just the one. There's a little one over there. Doesn't seem to be getting bigger. I expect that one to dry up and fall off. And we have some some female flowers in here as well, but there's not enough season, and not like this one has dried up. Yeah, hey, good, you're so sweet. But yeah, I'm really happy with, you know, this is the only squash we're gonna have this year, and this plant is huge. All right, I'll do a quick run through crab apples over here. This tree, the one that has the tiny crab apples that only birds eat, I don't see much of anything, just like a couple of apples on this one. This is the one that ripens in August, and we've got quite a few apples here, and they are quite delicious. And then we got this tree, and then this tree. They have fewer apples, and they ripen in September, usually. So, little ways to go for these ones. And going into the silver buffalo berry, looks like this one has finally died. That's the one that was drowning earlier. And these ones seem to be managing, and more of them. You can see the red have berries on them than before. So these berries are looking quite ripe. But I haven't found they taste very good. Yeah, definitely don't taste very good. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully the birds will like them or something. But this is one of the ones that ripened last year. And so it's got tons of berries on it. Oh, the high bush cranberry, still surviving. Still not getting any bigger. We got, hello Stinky, the sea buckthorn, the two of them still surviving. And then if we go over, we have our one little purple raspberry that I hope will survive and produce next year. And I'm hoping to be able to propagate more of them. And we're going to go into our mulberry, still surviving. This one over here is still very tiny, but it's alive, and that's the main thing. So it has a chance. And we've got our two haskap berries that are cross-pollinators. We've got our apple tree. Our gooseberry has actually been producing berries this year. And our plum tree. And the leaky rain barrel is not leaking, so we actually have to water these things. But yeah, so these are actually doing all right. All right, getting into this bed over here, we've got our one sad little cucumber. The only one that I was able to transplant, and then something dug it up, so I moved it over, and it's surviving, but we're not going to get anything out of that. Got carrots. I've not been able to weed this bed in the middle because I just can't reach. And the spring blush peas, I'm leaving these to go to seed. Got the start of the next bed over there. The logs are being lined up. The nasturtiums are doing beautifully. The white dwarf cosmos that were supposed to be red dwarf cosmos doing beautifully. So are these crackerjack marigolds. And oh look, a bee. Hello bee. Haven't been a lot of those. These beans have been doing quite well. We got quite a few harvests over them. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Get off the hoop. Let go, dude, let go. Come on, get your claws out of there. Oh, he's just hanging on to that net. Okay, yeah, so we got mostly the yellow ones of the tricolor mix. Dude, try it again. And they're very prolific. The purples, they finally reached their peak and are starting to die back a bit, but we also got quite a lot. The green variety, not so much. But yeah, this is probably one of the most successful beds we've actually had is these peas. Oh, look, there's a bug. Hello, bug. So we got the onions over here that are looking pretty good. The daikon radish has all bolted, and now some kind of insect has gotten at them, so we've been blasting with the hose. And then there's their red noodle beans. And at this point, I'm thinking there's no point in trying to grow red noodle beans again, because there's something about it. We've tried them 3 times in 3 different locations with 3 very different growing conditions each year, and we just can't seem to grow red noodle beans. But we do have, these would be spoon tomatoes that's self-seeded, and oh my goodness, these ones are actually blooming. So who knows if we'll actually get some. But yeah. And over here, the cabbages have been harvested, and I'm just leaving these, and we'll dig the green matter into the bed when it's being prepared in the fall. We've got our muskmelon, which is full of flowers, all of them male flowers. We've got one surviving melon over here, and then these are the purchased watermelons. And yeah, we're obviously not getting melons this year. Alright, in this bed, the French marigolds are doing very beautifully. Something has flattened all the onions in here. The caraway, they are developing their seeds. So just waiting for the seeds to develop before we can harvest. And it does look like I will get at least one more kohlrabi out of this. Possibly another second really small one there. Chocolate stripe tomatoes, we have some developing. The chocolate peppers, I think one plant is producing, that's it. We got, oh, this one is finally starting to bloom, but yeah, no eggplant is developing in the Casper eggplant. These are the California Wonder bell peppers. We have several plants. 1, 2, 3, 4 plants are developing. Here's the Golden Boy celery. We're leaving some to go to seed. The others I'm going to be harvesting little by little, just so I have enough room to dehydrate them in the oven. And we're going to be using them to make celery salt. This is the garlic bed, which now has only the chives charred in it. One had gotten a seed, I was going to leave it, but then the deer got the end. So I've moved the motion sensor thing over here to try and deter the deer. But Swiss chard handles cold temperatures well, so these will be fine. The potatoes are pretty much ready for harvesting, but it's not something I'm allowed to do because I had surgery a couple of days ago, and I'm not allowed to do any kind of work like that, so I'm gonna have to get my daughters to do that. And then there's our corn patch, which was completely decimated by raccoons. I just came out one morning and it was all completely destroyed. So that's very disappointing. I even had the noise thing, but I guess they did it at a time when it was too bright for the sensor to go off, because I had it to go off only at night. We got the strawberries, Albion ever-bearing strawberries, kind of surviving. And here we have the poppies. These are the giganthemum, and if you can hear the rattling, so some of them are actually, we could probably pick them right now, but I'm going to leave them for now. And only one of the winter squash over here has survived. Look at that, it's blooming. I don't expect it to have enough time to actually produce anything, but it is what it is. Alright, and here we're getting into the old kitchen garden, and we got the mint and strawberries over here, and we've been able to snack on strawberries every now and then. I've actually harvested one of the prolific long neck squash from here. There's another one developing over here. But again, we have mostly male flowers. This one is the green patty pan squash. Was a green benning, I believe it's called. We do have more female flowers forming, but it's mostly male flowers right now. I've actually been able to harvest a few out of here, and I expect more. Finally, this one, I think this one is the lemon squash. And then this one, or this group, is the yellow patty pan squash. But honestly, I can't tell which is which right now. I'll have to look and remind myself what they are. They're only just starting to bloom now, so not really expecting much. This is one of the yellow zucchini that was thinned by transplanting, so it's actually developing. We've harvested a few yellow zucchini. Is one you can see growing over there. We'll be able to harvest that soon. And this one was also thinned by transplanting, and it's got plenty of female flowers on there that we can pollinate. Hello, Gouda. Just gonna pop over here. And then we've got our Florence fennel that bolted and never formed the vegetable. So we're just basically letting them go to seed. See what we can do with salvaging them. The chicory is getting very dense, so hopefully that means they're gonna bloom relatively soon. Got more of the strawberries. A couple more summer squash that were thinned by transplanted over here. And then there was some garlic here that I harvested, and it was all very young, so we just, for straight eating, some self-seeded chamomile that I'm allowing to go to seed. These tomatoes are self-seeded and remarkably strong looking. And then we have the dwarf peas that I'm leaving them at this point, and if they form seeds we can salvage, that's great. If not, alright, the parsnips in here are getting very tall. These are self-seeded poppies from before we moved back here. I've tried picking some of the parsnips, and they've got like almost no roots. And I've tried checking out the beets, and the beet roots are very small. They're all green and no root. And then there's these alliums, whatever they are, beautiful flowers. And then we have the herbs. The oregano is basically taken over this bed. This is the lemon balm, I think. This is a savory sage. Can't remember. Russian tarragon is in here somewhere. And then hidden someplace in the corner here is a lemon thyme, and there's the walking onions. And I've been removing the heads on the walking onions and basically placing them where I would like them to grow rather than in the grass, which they would otherwise be doing. So yeah, this bed is actually doing pretty good, even though we don't have much we can harvest out of it. This entire garden, I should say. Now we look at the grapevines and Fluffy. Hello, Fluffy. It's been growing very vigorously and growing over the spirea, which is great because when we first moved here, the spirea was choking out the grapes. So, revenge! Anyways, there are lots of clusters of grapes under here that are, if I can get in here, changing color. There we are. Hopefully that's focusing because I can't see my screen. But yeah, so we are getting grapes, and looking very vigorous and healthy this year. Yeah, and I think that's the last of it. I think so, yes. Okay, so that is it for our August garden tour. This has been a very, very difficult month health-wise for all of us. Yeah, I ended up in the ER and that led to surgery. And yeah, so I'm not allowed to do a lot of things right now. So my daughters are taking over and they're probably going to have to do a lot of the harvesting that's going to need to be done soon. But some things are doing all right. This has been such a weird year. Other things are not doing well at all. And some things look healthy like these guys, but we're not getting a lot out of them. A lot of it has to do with the weird temperatures that we've been having. And, hot in the day and cold at night, that kind of thing. And we've already started to get temperatures of like 6 degrees overnight, which we normally would not get until more into September. But, we do what we can and do what we can to prepare for next year. So we'll see how this goes. I need to trim some of these, get the dying older leaves clear. Yeah, and I think I just heard a bee go by. Well, that's wonderful. Yeah, so there we have it, our 2026 garden tour for August 20th. And I guess I'll see you next month.